Hello again. Yes. So for
Excuse? Oh, okay.
hello. Yeah. Cool. So we have our first panel and only panel on the mobile stage. Mobile in the context of IoT, which is interesting intersection between mobile and IoT. So we'll see what's coming out of it. Should be interesting. So for this we have three speakers. We have Dan, who's going to talk after this in a different talk as well. We have Dragos from the University Politehnica Bucharest.
Hello.
And we have Larise, which we already saw earlier. So let's start by allowing them to introduce or reintroduce themselves for about a minute and a bit, and then maybe tell us what you're doing inside the IoT sector and mobile.
Right. Should I start? My name is Larise. I'm from IBM, and currently in the IoT, it's very high. Can we go? Yeah. Thanks. And currently in the IoT section, as I mentioned in the presentation, we are dealing with Maersk. That's a big transport cargo. And we are doing for them bunker optimizations. That means IoT for containers, IoT for transportations, and IoT for live monitoring in between offshore and onshore via the satellites.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I guess IBM is kind of a center of everything.
No. No. But the thing is with them, and you would expect that you would use NFRs and codes and just scan them, and that's easy. But with containers, things don't work like that, because these containers, they go throughout the world. They have high temperatures. These sensors, they just go and go, they crash. And it's very expensive to do this kind of system with them and just, okay, I scan it, I have it. Also, via the satellites, the transmission, it's like I was 18 or 16, and with my mom's, you remember the internet via the telephone, yeah? Something like that. So the big challenges are there. How do I transmit data from onshore to offshore, and the other way around? I have no actual way of tracking a vessel real time. In some of the places, there is no way in doing that. You have an actual location for it. So you have to have all of this in place, because if your sensors goes wild while you are in a, let's say, non-coverable area, even some miles, like 10 miles, you won't have time to go and report all of that to shore and send back the... So this is one of our projects which are currently working bunker optimizations. So just to give you an example, because I have people from the team in the room, there was the option of the client to use an actual OCR for scanning the containers instead of using NFRs.
Yeah, I guess it's much easier to paint something on it than to have something electronic.
Yes, you are comparing a 200K cost with a 1.5 million per vessel cost.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm a new figure in here, a new person. I was in Cluj. Thank you very much for the organizers that thought about me, remember me. Please join also DevTalks in Cluj if you have the opportunity. It's a nice place to visit, nice people, and it's different, yeah? You see something different. So I'm actually a teaching assistant at Technical University of Bucharest, Politehnica Bucharest. I'm having this mobile application development course. Basically, I teach students how to develop mobile applications. Also, I'm a freelancer, so in my spare time, extra time, I'm working with in projects with another team, great people, and we had some experience with mobile applications, a little bit of IoT with beacons, iBeacons, and I'll share it with you if you would like to know more. So that's me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, IoT, yeah. So 8 years ago, I made a project in O2 Arena in Berlin and we build a federated self-architecture of IoT devices. So at that time we pay $500,000 for designing this, and another $500,000 to build 50 embedded devices. So today you have everything is very cheap. So I have a lot of Raspberry Pis in my bag, and I receive on the fly some. So you have a big chance to do something, to build something. So I organized in the last 5 years more or less 100 hackathons based on wearable IoT, augmented reality, VR. And yeah, you'll see later, because I don't want to disclose what will be my presentation after this.
Okay, awesome.
But no, what I want to say, so I have one device here, it's a Alcatel One Touch, so a smartphone. And who will be on my presentation, because I know it's the last presentation and everyone wants to go home and you are tired, I see this. And I invite you to come to my presentation and see a little about hacking on cars and biohacking and so on.
Sounds good. So we're going to take some questions from the audience now, if you have anything related to mobile or Internet of Things.
I can put myself questions.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So first, I'm a little scared about this surveillance on IoT. So maybe my colleagues in the panel and you can, how can I say, not scare me, but
It's pretty hard not to scare you, because I think privacy is quite a big thing, especially when everything is connected, and be able to do all sorts of weird things, like that hack. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, where people could get into Land Rovers and disable things and make a car do weird stuff remotely. I think that's scary, but it needs to happen. There will be security issues, but in the same thing, we have mobile banking now. Previously it was something unthinkable. So we have birds now.
yeah, we have a cool background. So surveillance
Yeah.
Just one question. Why should it scare us? Why IoT should scare us in any way? What's the difference in between staying connected and publishing all my data to the social networks and having all my devices connected? Like, you have to think a bit here that even if your car, okay, gets connected, but you'll still have the same challenges that you face in real life, even if you don't know about your traffic and your monitoring. So I don't think that should be something scary. And once IoT is done, like mobile now is consumed, IoT is more popular, there'll be the next best thing.
I think it's a two-side issue. First of all, is about the choice. The choice of not needing to be tracked. So for example, Firebase is a good example, right? It's a Google product. You don't know where it goes and what's used of. I'll give you this microphone because I know that isn't comfortable. So as long as you have a choice on the privacy matter, it's fine. And as long as you have a clear business model to how to make money without actually mining and selling data users of your products, for me, it's mind-blowing how Google knows when my gym is full, right? And sorry, the second one is about the security, which obviously it will evolve and it will get better, but I think it's still in early days.
Question, how many of you use Booking.com? Quite a lot. Do you know that Booking.com is doing 1,000 commits per second, real-time monitoring their users via experiments? And they have 100 teams doing this. And they're showcasing and presenting this. So they're actually taking feedback, real-time feedback, small experiments. And one of their, let's say, learning, if you hear them in conferences, is that we have a Booking.com site where we could crawl and mine everything, but that's not the approach. We are doing small experiments to treat and see how our users react instead of crawling over everything. I come from an NLP background, analytics, And the thing is, what we try to do from outside of such a big product is go and crawl everything and try to say semantics, what it does, make average. This is the first way to getting it wrong. So we are talking about IoT and being uncomfortable in being monitored via our devices, but we are monitored via our actions in the sites that we are using right now.
Yes, but so first, when I want to not to be tracked, so I take out my mobile and I put it out or take the battery out. So it's very easy. But if you have cameras everywhere and you have sounds recorders everywhere, so it'll be very hard in your house and everywhere. So I cannot imagine that I'll put me on my house, so on Alexa or something. I put, but in my keller and not in my house, because my keller is completely shown from the house.
But it's scary when you start talking to someone in your car or at home about something, and then you suddenly see ads of that thing, right? That's scary. That's an intrusion of privacy, right?
Yeah, you can imagine you have Alexa in your house, and everyone from Amazon can hear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's very easy to when you are in Amazon. I don't know if you know the scandal with Google, when someone from Google make intrusion in it was Google Plus or something like this. Before Google Plus was this how calls this
Wave.
Latitude. Wave or Latitude.
Google Wave. I think
Wave,
it's called,
yeah, on Google Wave.
Just one proposal. In the 80s, if I remember well, it was Sun Microsystem that proposed the mission statement of Sun was the computer, or not, the network is the computer, or something like that. Computer is the network. I don't remember well. Okay. The next step, it's obvious, mobile will be the network. Actually, we are forming this network with our mobiles. On the other hand, we should control our data, outgoing data, outbound data. I still remember my old modem with the phone connection, yeah, classical analog modem. And I was seeing the outbound traffic, so I was able to cut off electrically the modem. Okay, we are a little bit more civilized today, but I'm suggesting that we should be somehow aware that our data is ripped off without our permission, and also we should be paid for that. We are small micro service for data provider.
I don't think we should be paid for it. I prefer to pay with money, not with my privacy.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think it's everyone's right, and if you want to be paid but for seeing ads, absolutely, that's fine with me. Okay. But I don't think that should be the default. I don't think Facebook should track the users around the web to see what they're doing and so on. But let's go back to the mobile and Internet of Things. How will mobile work with Internet of Things? Are we going to see things that just talk to one device, one mobile, and kind of you'll be your cloud of IoT? And the mobile will act as a central hub for everything.
In my opinion, definitely. The future, it's let's say, Internet of Things. In my opinion, it's my definition. It's something that happens locally. All the chit chat, the communication protocols, whatever. It's on the local area. Maybe a network, maybe I don't know, point to point, maybe a mesh, maybe whatever. And then we'll have a mean to transport this to another stage. There is a lot of, it's a new buzzword, fog computing. It was launched by Cisco and company. The idea is before arriving into the cloud, yeah, you are in this area, like in a foggy area where data is still processed, still fuzzy, and then you go to the cloud. On the other hand, you need some certainty that your data gets where it should go in a certain time and you have a good response and so on. So this will be a challenge. If I want things to happen locally, it's okay. In this room, I can control with IoT whatever I want. I don't know, the lights, the mics, yeah. But if I want to control with IoT something that is happening 2 miles away, or 60 miles away, it will be a little bit difficult. So from this point of view, we are not yet ready. It will take a while. This is just personal view. Yeah.
But if you're talking about digital transformation, that's all about machines and mans being connected. Mobile is just of visualizing. Now you have your watch. I see you have your watch, right? It's also a way of getting some info, some incentive faster. Yeah. For some of the people, the watch now replaced some functionality of the mobile, right? Yeah. Cool. So you'll have some other type of gadgets at some point. So mobile maybe should be envisioned more as mobility. The way I'm walking, talking, connecting, transforming my life, and in this case, transforming businesses, because the business that does not transform and is not fast enough will die, no matter how big they are. They'll die from their own processes. So as much as they manage to connect and view transparently all their components, and yes, IoT with mobility, with mobile, with digital transformation, and just get rid of the, let's say, big mammoths on the back-end side, the way they have to succeed.
So from my perspective, so I have a watch, but it's an analog watch. So I think we have met for some years ago. I had a lot of watches, so smart watches and everything on my hand and on my leg and everywhere. But I don't see now really, at this moment, I don't see no use for this. Really to say.
Personally, I don't use it as a replacement for anything of a phone. I use it.
I use it just to take a look what time is.
Yeah, well, mine tells time as well, but it's about it's about tracking the health and fitness, I guess, because I'm a fat developer, so I need to know to be told when to.
Yeah, you will see my presentation. I don't want to disclose. You want to disclose everything from my presentation, but we'll see.
Cool.
About hacking.
Sorry, just a quick one. For new people just came into the room, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Or if you're shy, just post it on Twitter with the hashtag DevTalks, and I can ask it here.
Yeah, but don't worry, we don't have an answer for you. So we are not experts, so we are trying, to figure as experts. But
how many of you actually have a smartwatch, and what do you use it for? Just one. I know someone that has it and is very keen of it. So what do you use it for?
For tracking questions.
Trendy. Okay, that's a good.
Also notifications are cool.
Notifications, tracking health. Okay, what else?
I'm using a device. It's not a smartwatch, but I took it as a gift. But it helps, obviously, to transform effort in figures and numbers. So basically, everyone is aware that we are doing a lot of effort, but it's quite amazing to figure out that by the end of the day, you could transform an effort, I don't know, in 20 kilometers or 20,000 steps and so on.
So you quantify your life, basically, quantifying the effort, and you want to keep track of it and see what's happening. Do you use it just for tracking, or do you use it to make decisions on what you do next?
I use it for planning as well, but the main input is my life, actually, transforming into figures and numbers, and I can easily adapt, easily change, and better planning.
So that's the thing that is amazing for me is people 10 years ago, they didn't know they need smartwatches or iPads, and now they can't live without it. And look at the transformation that's happening with the web, computers going to tablets and going to small form factors. It's the same thing about watches. I think they're just going to have functionality, and they become so integrated into the society. Unless something bad happens, like Google Glass, for example, that kind of put the barrier between you and the other people, and the privacy was an issue there. But I think it's just IoT, right?
And to finalize the question, because there was very good input from me as a mobile architect, because I'm still looking for a business case how to sell an app watch to the client, and I still didn't find it yet. So maybe that's just me. Question, would you all be bothered to share your incentive about, for example, health across? Or do you want to keep that person? Do you see any problems in sharing your health scoring, let's say with a community, or like being tracked somewhere and then see at some point in a dashboard, okay, people from Europe have in average this type of lifestyle. Would that be a problem? Would that you would consider that a privacy problem?
I would.
Yeah? Yeah? But why? What else could you use that data that would be mean, for example?
Yeah, that's health insurance is a good thing. It's identifiable data.
Yeah.
That's
But like if you use it in a positive way, for example, to identify that there are a group of people. That's true.
Yeah, I think should be an option of everyone. Just so quickly, I'll get back to you in a second. Another thing I use it is for payments and for going into the public transport. Do you know how when you go into the public transport and just do this and go in? Do you know how I feel? You feel like Superman, because you do something that's so easy to do, and it just helps your life, right?
Actually, this is not a question. It's a small completion to the to the answer you've got previously. So actually, it depends. Sharing the results. Basically, we are talking about results, about numbers. Depends obviously on the culture, on the environment, and maybe Romania is not that country to prove this. But I could give you a simple example in the States, in the United States, for instance, where if you wear something like that, like this, and you get to the point, you achieve the objectives, you could earn money on this. There are a lot of companies in the United States who actually pay their employees. It's not that significant as an amount of money. It's about 30 or up to $50 a month. And if you achieve those goals, you can earn money on this. So, yeah, this is typical. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it's a trade-off. Just remind me, in UK, the auto insurance company, the premium for young drivers, because statistically they're the one most likely to cause accidents, the premium is quite high. So what they do is they give you this black box that you put in the boot of your car, which tracks basically how fast you're going, how slow you're going, how fast you accelerate and decelerate. And if you stay within a certain limits, they actually decrease your premium. And it's a good trade-off if you want to do it. And as a young person without money, you want to save it on the insurance, right? So it's a trade-off. It's a temporary thing that you might want to do it, but you effectively choose to have it. So it's your choice, and that's fine as long as you have a choice, right?
And to complete this, to be honest, if I would go to the States, I've been a couple of times. Getting my IoT being scanned would be my least of the worry, because I can't even drink a beer without my identity card. They take me the fingerprints whenever I go. If I go to Moscow, there is no big mall where they don't actually scan you as you would go to the airport. So they do actually more damage for me in these conditions, and you have to do it. It's a regulation. Then someone's saying, okay, can you just give me for 1 month your running, I want to do this?
So from my point of view, I don't want to live in US and not on Soviet Union or Russia, or how do you call it. So I love to live in Europe, and I'm feeling more as European citizen, and I want to have care, and I care about my privacy very strong. That's why I told you. So when I want to be private, I take everything out and keep it out. So from other point of view, more companies try to sell us bullshit. So really, they put a lot of, they said IoT, they put, a tracking system in everything, but it's about design. So if the people don't think about from the beginning and build a cool design and good sync design, you can forget it, because it doesn't help you. So you must think about what are the needs, what are our, it's resolve a problem of us, yes, it's working. We're not, you know, it's like sugar. So you take sugar with your spoon and you need more sugar, but this is for your body and for your health is damage. That's why I believe in products that will be good design, that is useful and resolve a problem.
Just on, I'll be the devil advocate in here. Remember that 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago, we all wanted to be part of science fiction stuff. You know, just seeing movies in our hand. It's cool, yeah. Actually, we are not connected. We are 200% dependent on Facebook. We have to check it in real time, yeah, just to see what is happening on Facebook. And we know that Facebook it's not so clean, so how to put it, so good for our privacy. But we are still depending on that technology. Also, smartwatch was introduced as a gadget, and a lot of gadgets were and accessories came along. As long as we can push that on the market, people will buy it. Sometimes without any utility. If you look at the phones, at Nokia phones, it was a huge mass hysteria with Nokia. They populated the planet with mobile phones. And where are those phones today? And
well, they didn't evolve fast enough. They got caught.
Yeah, but as long as you sell, you can sell it. IoT, in my opinion, has this dark side. We don't know exactly what it is and how this will impact our. Definitely will be there. So finally, I got it right in in this IT stuff, in this IT, how to put it, cloud. Yeah, IoT will be part of our lives. That's clear. In 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, but no more than 5 years. And we will embrace it, like it or not. Sometimes we will depend on it. For example, if it is a health issue or for elderly people, they will like IoT. Even we as, let's say, second age generation, we would like for our parents to have IoT. But we do not know what the utility is in this moment. We have no idea because the device is not there. And also, they are still selling us things that are not so nice. Yeah, crappy things.
But let's make a clear difference. IoT for enterprise versus IoT for clients, like B2C clients versus B2E, B2B. There is a big difference. The trend now in companies like Bosch, Siemens, they want their washing machines to have sensors and automatically send them, okay, when the machine is not working. So you don't need to wait to call, make an appointment, then then the person that should solve it comes to you and have all of this backlog. They want to solve it on the spot, get data on the spot, and this is how they drive business. This is part of what they signed with Apple, IBM last year.
So it's still B2C at the end of the day.
It's
customers.
yes, but from a company perspective, they improve their customers' and clients' feedback. Yeah, because they get the chance to be proactive, get the chance to spot the problems before. You don't have to wait. Yeah, so they are monitoring simple technical issues. From a cargo point of view, from Maersk, the cargo itself and making sure that all your containers are okay, are in the exact shape that you would need, that you promised to your client since you did a pickup, you did a return. Okay, this is your responsibility. And you have to make sure all the sensors are on track.
Yeah.
From a, let's say, B2C type of app, yeah, there are more problems there as we discussed, but from an enterprise, at least in what it means shipments, let's say industry, distribution, public, this is the way to be. You want to be ahead of your competition. You want to know your clients better. You want to reduce counters, offices. You want to lean in your business. You can't survive if all your business means headquarters, people, phones, open this, doing a ticket. It has to be smoother. You said you like when you go and touch your watch and that's it, yeah? Maybe you would like that your machine doesn't break in 2 days and you'll get a notification. Hey, make sure.
I wouldn't like that.
You don't like that?
I would like an option when a machine breaks down to have a button to send it to them.
Okay, so that's also like you want an on-off switch
Basically,
for them.
for the information to go to them only when I need that information.
Okay.
Not always.
Yes, but I think it's self-made problems from the and I say the manufacturer of wash machine, of TVs and so on. I have a Miele wash machine at home and it's 20 years old and it's working. Has no electronic, it's mechanics and it's working very well. Why to put IoT in this machine? I don't want to have. I want to work this machine toward the next 10 years.
But there are places where you need it, right?
Build products with a higher quality and don't put all the shit electronics in all what is. No, build machines that are working.
Okay, fair point.
Second, make design, because I think IoT will be very good in some areas, but are very bad in, because you cannot put for example, on a cup of coffee. Why to put IoT? So I make no sense for me.
Maybe because it tastes better. I don't know.
No,
but it, yeah. No, but a very good example of IoT is in agriculture, right? So you have sensors over there that monitor certain things. So you need, you know that
water, preserve the water, yes.
Water or
Makes
chemicals
sense.
inside or whatnot, and they can actually, do an analysis in real time of the earth. And that can, send some drones to send the water or the chemicals and have that whole environment being self-regulated.
Yes, but we must make our lives simple and not complicated, because if you put electronic on everything, think about what is the life of a metal and what is the life of a transistor. So it's completely different. So you must change everything in 2 years or 3 years. So it's hard, the cycles are more small and small and small, and you buy and you have no idea what you are buying.
It's really incredible that this device is 30,000 times more powerful than the computer that sent the man to the moon. And it's incredible how much wastage is in it and how much, how many things we do just because, but it makes us more social, granted, well, debatable. But it's still, it's a lot of power and it can do a lot of good things. Yeah, it's electronics, but yeah. You should have been in power.
Speaking of social side of things, I have one, I'm not wondering, but I have one concern about this chapter of our lives as a matter of young people. So it's really painful to see a lot of young people, kids actually, they meet in different places, different venues, and there are, I don't know, 10 people around the table who drink beer. Actually, they have beers on there, or juice, okay? And they don't communicate. They don't connect to each other. They are connected through devices, through technology, and so on. Don't you see this as jeopardization, let's say, to humanity and to our behavioral social skills?
That's actually a nice...
I have two daughters.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I have two daughters, and 12 and 14, so in puberty. And I remark from my point of view, they are communicating very much. So from the morning to the evening, but they are meeting in face to face. They are meeting more as we were meeting in my time. Because if it's something, they are acting tup tup tup, and in 10 minutes they have a meetup somewhere, in our proximity. So I don't see a problem. The problem is education. So if the kids doesn't read something, and doesn't matter, it's a book on analog or it's a book on a digital, education is very important. But without this, we'll have problem in the future. That's why I try now to make them understand. Hey, here's a book, is a story. try to read it. He said, no, it's not interesting for me. But from the other side, I love my girls because my girls make music, they read a lot, they have a funny life, and ask me every time, hey, what is the last phone? I want to have an iPhone. Why you want to have an iPhone? Because it's this group mentality. Who has an iPhone is the best and so on. And we make a test, and I'm Android because it's open source, and I love open source stuff, and because I want to read the code. So I read the code as a book. So, and when you take a look at the code and read the code, the people that was writing before, it's a book. It's a book inside the code. And I talked with my daughters and said, hey, take a look, read it, try to understand, and make it more from this. So because it's very important, I know how many people have kids here? Oh, not so many. So then I let the other two talk, sorry.
Okay, just to complete your idea. 2 boys, you see, we are just complementary, 10 years and 4 years old. So the 4-year, he doesn't know what a phone with a keyboard is. Actually, when he saw his grandfather's Nokia phone, he just tried to play with the screen and then just throw it away. It's a wasted technology. Anyhow, they are not dependent on technology. The same, I don't put it like a miracle. It's the same stereotype. I also read books, so my 2 boys are reading books. They have an Xbox console. They play about half an hour a week. So they don't like it more, and it's not, how to put it, they are not grounded or restricted, or it's not something that I impose on them. I explain them what is happening if they do not take care of their lives. They do a lot of sport. They are boys, just tried with music, it doesn't work so well, and they do socialize a lot. It's even if they play on Xbox, they talk with the other guys about the games, about what they can build together, and things that are human communication related activities, not just my highest score is that. And no, they try to invent even characters for the game. They say, it's a pity they didn't program that. And I always encourage them to program. I said, no, it's for the program, it's not for us.
But there is a danger there for kids adopting technology and not understanding its powers and its limits. Because having access to something that is perceived as powerful, sorry, not powerless, it can lead to a lot of problems. And it's seeing kids as young as 7 on Facebook, it scares the shit out of me. It's a not environment to be in, and they shouldn't be there until they're 13, according to the terms of the service anyway. But there is a danger there. And that actually, it's a good question, because I want to go into something else in virtual reality, although it's not IoT. Sorry, Larissa, do you want to say something before that?
Well, yeah, maybe related or not, but I think that what you don't know, you are a bit afraid of as a general thing. For example, did you know that around 70, actually IBM invented the first smartphone with an actual digital that you could do some of the actions, but it was too early, yeah? And now smartphone is the word, no one has an actual old phone. That's for like, if you like antiques or vintage, right?
They're called dumb phones.
Well, dumb.
That's actually the technical term.
But the thing is, in 3-4 years from now, we are going to talk about something else, because we will be prepared to embrace it. And who is going to embrace it faster and find the proper use case to do it, and the proper accountability for them and for the people using it, especially in industries, they are going to win and lead the markets. Sure. And it's very curious for me that having a room full of people, I see that some of the people already left, in a hot topic like IoT, we don't get tough questions. So I would like to encourage you to question everything.
Here's a tough one. Will IoT lead, and this is a question from the audience nonetheless, will IoT lead to a job loss? Will people lose jobs because of IoT?
Yes.
They will evolve. No, they will evolve.
Yes.
Explain.
evolving. Like we went into the industry type of area. No one lost jobs, but we have more secretaries, that's true, and more people that have business, social, marketing, commercial skills. Fine. There is a place for everyone.
I don't think so. So, jobless, yes, but we must take care. So the corporates are thinking, okay, we optimize, we build, new paradigms, we make everything to be much better for us, not for the people. So my opinion is that we must take care about education. I mean education. So what we lost in the last, 30, 40 years is the pleasure for art, the pleasure, for creativity. And I mean real creativity.
Can I ask a practical question? Yeah. So autonomous cars are going to be a given in 2030, right? You'll be, in my opinion, it will be illegal to drive in 2030, right? So what will happen with all those drivers, the taxi drivers, all the lorry drivers? What will happen to them? Because some of them will be in their 40s and 50s and 60s.
There will be something as social blah blah blah. You have some
about
jobs.
Millions of people.
Yes, but that's how it will be. We are pushing through this technology breakthrough. Take a look a bit into our history of adaptability. We adapt. We are a nation that adapt. We weren't first in the food chain, and we became first. Why? Because we adapted.
But that takes usually hundreds of years, not 10 years.
In the past time, you see, that's like Darwin's, industrial breakthrough. No, it started to double. It was very slow at the beginning. And there is the example of how the puppy dogs that we keep in our bags arrived. Initially, all the dogs were wolves, and they were on top of the food chain compared to us. Right? How come now I have my dog, which is a small thing, doesn't look like a wolf, she is background as a wolf origin, yeah? It's very simple, because the wolf, now it was easier for them to receive a bone than to hunt. So cuteness was the thing of adaptability, because you would like a dog for their qualities, how cute it is, how nice it is. So we will adapt.
Yeah, I'll be very short, sorry. My opinion is that, take a look in Berlin. So in Berlin, a lot of companies have started 4 days a week. So I believe the people will be in killing time industry in the next 10 years will make a lot of money, and they have no problem. Killing time industries. So game industry, entertainment, all this stuff. So I think the productivity will be so high that the people will move quick to this killing time industry. That's why the education must to change, on this part on creativity, art, music, all this stuff that it's more from our creativity part of our body or our brain, and not really this craftsman stuff. Will remain some craftsman stuff, but on the other side, so modeling on neural networks and such as that will be not so many people, will be very rich, but the other. So we'll have a fine life with a good, house and cars and food and so on.
How will we be able to achieve that if we don't have a job?
It's no problem, because I don't know if you know, it's how it's called, is the minimum salary or minimum universal salary. So everyone will have something to live.
Not according to Switzerland.
No, but
well, powers change.
Yeah, but it's. I think that the world will go in an average moment that.
But that will lead to people being lazy.
No, I don't think so.
Look what happened in Romania in 50 years. People got lazy because they knew they had a job. And
No,
my dad
no,
has
no,
been
no.
crazy about this for 30 years.
I think it's about education in Romania, and not just in Romania, and a lot of countries in Europe. So because the government doesn't invest in education, and take a look at the big difference. So for me it's amazing when I come to Romania and I see so difference. So people that are high educated and the others that have no idea what they are living for.
But that's the vast majority of people. And people
Yeah, but this is about education. Invest in education.
But even if you educate people, some of them might not be able mentally
Some
to go
yes,
to that level.
some yes,
So
but
it's a majority.
Why do you say mentally? Because one of our lacks in Romania is the EQ skills. We have more technical skills than the majority of Central and West, but we lack so much in EQ. And that should be one of the education. This is where we actually lose the jobs from EQ.
I appreciate that, but if we look in the grand scheme of things, the vast majority of people work in jobs that are average, right? And those are the most likely jobs to go away when the Internet of Things comes in. The repetitive jobs. So how do you get those people into other jobs? That was kind of the initial question.
I don't think you're going to get them. I think they either adapt.
Just a remark, because I'm involved in education. Actually, I'm paid by the Ministry of Education, so yeah, it's my duty to have.
Salary is going to increase from December next year, apparently.
This is like a negative growth. It's yeah. Okay. If you take the inflation, never mind. Okay. This is just money. We don't talk about money in education. It's for fun. Yeah, you are damn right, because the first point that I want to stress here is the industry that needs to lead the education. Because if you are waiting for the government or for the state, no matter what state it is, USA or Russia, yeah, they don't give a penny more for the education because they don't see the interest. Politicians need a mass of voters, of electors, and they need to be programmable. If you are too intelligent, you cannot be programmed. So it's against the rules. You do not teach, you do not cultivate thinking. On the other hand, in the industry, you will need highly qualified people, like people talking to robots or programming army of robots. Even in agriculture, you will need highly skilled people. So only the industry may lead the education and impose on the education. You are, as industry, we are not recognizing this certificate or diploma or whatever it is because it's not useful. It does not have an utility. It's like a gadget. Today you have a bachelor degree or whatever, and it's not useful. You have to make another certification on Java, on mobile, on whatever, in order to be hired, to have PMP and so on. And this is absurd. On the other hand, it's a good habit, you see, because we need as people, in order to stay employable on the market, to know how to learn continuously. It's no more, okay, I finished school. This is false. Maybe we will die and we will still be capable to learn things. I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, the time is up. So
thank you very much.
What I want to ask you is just a kind of quick thing, because we have another 5 minutes until Dan's presentation is here. What do you see?
Doesn't matter, so
okay, cool. So what do you see the world in 2050? How do you see it being?
Okay, 2050.
So 35 years from now,
yeah, okay.
Enough to actually things moving.
People will interact a lot through digital things. This is true that also Tesla said that 150 years ago, but yeah, I hope this will become reality. We will interact a lot, even at neuronal level, yeah, through digital things and at distance. Also, I see that we will finally stop the oil consumption. We'll just stop that, go to something else, some other type of energy. I don't know what that energy will be. I also see a lot of problems with water supply, and this is even bigger than IoT, and also with the food. Maybe we'll find a solution with IoT. And I'll see people that will have custom training, custom life, custom career. It will be no more hiring masses. That's my futuristic view, let's say. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so I have 3. In 30 years, marriage won't exist. In around 15 years, software will be as a commodity. Like being a programmer won't be anything cool anymore. Everybody will be able to do it. And the third one, we won't use phones or any wearables to connect. We'll connect our brains. And we'll be able to connect using our brains because it's already there, just that you don't know how to do it yet. And so just to check a bit on what Carl Sagan's prediction were like 40 years ago and to see how accurate they were.
Yeah, from my point of view, I don't want to make predictions. So I think that people will drink beer. I think that people will eat more how can I say, more healthy, because they will think about. I think that, you know, it's prediction to make it. It's I don't want to say great words, but I don't know a prediction. So future is for us. So we make the future. So if you want to make something, we can do it. And my opinion is that we must care about education. I was in Finland and I was really very positive about the future. Because Finland is, they said we are a poor country, Finland. They have richness because they take very precise on everything. And education in Finland is very important. So it's, in Finland, to be professor or to be teacher is now proud, the national proud. And if we will not make this in Romania, so Romania will be at the end of the chain every time. Because we are today in the end of the chain. So we make jobs that a lot of Americans or Germans or other people in Europe doesn't want to make it. So they make so cool stuff as psychology and, you know, product development and so on. And all the hard work is made in Romania. How was the harbors for 100 years ago in other parts of the world? We made the hard work today, so brain hard work. So that's my prediction for the future. We must change everything here from the beginning, and we start with education. Because education changes mentality, and when you have another mentality, so Romania will flourish. I can swear on it. So this is my prediction for the future.
Fair point. Yeah, I want to say something about nationalism, but it's probably not good to say. My predictions, I think in 2030 it will be legal to drive. Autonomous cars will be everything. In 2050, everything will be electric, and you'll communicate using VR. So we'll have this conference as we are now, but we won't be here. There is no reason for me to fly here to be with you, because it's much easier. And as long as you make it good enough so you don't know if it's real or not, there's a danger there, obviously. But if you cross that barrier and fuzzy the difference between reality and VR, you won't be able to tell the difference. And you'll still, maybe, I was just talking to Martin yesterday in the tube and said, maybe they do some sort of drips with beer so you can still get drunk with other people but drink your own beer. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this panel. We have one final talk from Dan. We're going to get set up and start in a couple of minutes. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.